Hello and welcome back to Jacob's Books Corner, where today we're going to be talking about the next three in the Mortal Instruments, or the last three, I guess, in the Mortal Instruments before we move on to the Dark Artifice. If you guys do not know, the Mortal Instruments go City of Bones, City of Ashes, City of Glass, City of Fallen Angels, City of Lost Souls, and then City of Heavenly Fire, in that order. And yes, the way I've been reading these, if you guys do not know, I will link you to the playlist that is the Mortal Instruments, because, well, it's going to get relatively long, and I'm going to explain why. So once again, if you guys don't like long intros, which some of you guys really don't, you guys want to get to the content of me talking about each book, just like before, I will mention City of Fallen Angels will have the least amount to talk about, whereas these two are a little bit more fresher in the mind than this one. Just to point that out. I really don't remember what happens in City of Fallen Angels, which it really sucks. I think we're at a 4-star, if I'm not mistaken. Does not matter. Actually, you know what? We'll go into them, and then we'll talk about what's coming, in case you guys are curious to see where Shadow Hunters are going on my channel. They're not leaving. We're still continuing on the series. There's 8 more books, 9 more books. So, that I need to read before we even jump into, like, the newer ones. So, yeah. So we have City of Fallen Angels, which I don't have a Just Package for, because I bought this thinking of City of Ashes when I bought it like a long time ago, and so now I just own it. Wow, what do I remember? I remember this being the first one with Simon having a POV, so I want to say this is like a big one. I can't remember who the big villain was. That sucks. I'm very sorry, because I don't think this is. Is this the one? Okay, so it's not the Unfairly Prison, so that must be City of Glass. I'm just trying to go through it. I should have read a tiny spoiler review type of thing. Going forward, by the way, this will not be a problem for us. I read this back in like September, which is the reason why, because I was reading 2 trilogies at once, and so City of Fallen Angels and Clockwork Angel, and so this was a hot minute ago. It is now November, and it was like September or October. I didn't want to say it was. Oh my god, okay, this is Lilith. Yes, okay. Okay. It came back. See, I do like it. This is the one where he has the mark and Jace is like the bad guy. And well, spoiler, it happens twice, but he's like the bad guy. What I don't like about this, I just didn't really like Simon. Okay, that's the huge point here, and it's going to be a point throughout all the novels going forward. Simon's a character I just never cared for. I didn't care for him in the original trilogy. I didn't care for him in this trilogy. Now, did I say that he almost made me cry in the last book? Yeah, but that's not because of him. That's because of Cassie Clare. So I'm not going to give Simon any credit here. I liked him and Izzy. I thought they were kind of cute. But other than that, I had no like inner feelings towards Simon, and that goes forward for all the books. And so him having a huge thing, because I think this is the one where Raphael becomes like a huge main character, but also if Lily's in here, and so this must be, now that's the next book where we meet the person who was a huge character back in the Clockwork Angel series. Either way, with this in particular, I just didn't care for it. I didn't enjoy it very much, and but I still get 4 out of 5 stars because I liked it. I couldn't really tell you exactly what. I do have some Goodreads probably. I try to update them as closely as possible with my Goodreads, at least I do now. And putting some like mentions and stuff so my feelings are like right there. So if that interests you, I'll put my Goodreads down below, which are linked down below. You can find City of Fallen Angels in particular. I don't have a review or anything, but it will tell you the rating, which I'm assuming is a 4. Now let's jump into City of Lost Souls, because personally I just a lot more to talk about between these two. I just read this. This is really fresh in my brain as well. It was read not that long ago. City of Lost Souls got a 4.7 out of 5, 75 stars. Out of 5 stars. It did not get a perfect 4. And actually the game dropped it down to a 4.5, if I'm not mistaken. And there's a few reasons for this. I have to say a lot of people, at least online, this is their least favorite, from what I understand. Let me know if that's different or not. This one and City of Ashes, I've heard, are the 2 ones that most people hate about. I don't remember City of Ashes very much, but hey, I'm enjoying the content that I'm reading. City of Lost Souls, I really liked, because I think up to this point, especially with this, these are so action-packed and short compared to the rest of them, that I just personally, there was no character development and growth, and gosh dang it, do I wish I would not have asked that question. We'll get there. But with this one, that's all it is. There's two big action pieces throughout the whole novel. One at the very end, which you could maybe questionably say is an action piece. And then one towards the beginning of the novel, which is typical Cassie Clare. Well, when they're about this length. And here's the thing. I enjoyed most of the novel. I like Clary going with them. I enjoyed the angle. This novel, I enjoyed Simon and Isabel's relationship developing. I didn't really like Simon, but I still liked their relationship. Alec and Magnus, I also thought were really cute. But I didn't like how miscommunication they were. Because I think if Alec would have just told Magnus what he was planning on doing, I think Magnus would tell him, hey, I'm not comfortable with this. No, we really should just start focusing on the now, and then certain aspects of this book wouldn't be such a huge fucking deal. But so forth. I'll draw back. And so there's parts of this I didn't really like. I liked enjoying seeing Magnus's old love affairs, even if I can't remember her name off the top of my head. I found it to be very interesting to read about. What else is there? Okay, something I really didn't like. Really didn't like. So Jonathan's, like, a huge part. Okay, so we move from Valentine, which Jonathan shows up as Sebastian and dies, per se, in book 2. And then he shows back up in City of Fallen Angels, saying that he wants his brother. He gets his brother in between the two, because of things that I kind of remember, like, barely, but, like, they're there. A little management. I remember the room. I remember the stabbing. But I also can't remember if the room and the stabbing's in this one or in that one. And that's the problem with, like, binging a series. They all just kind of blend together, which is why I should be updating you guys while I read it. Because I really like them. Yeah, I don't know. Maureen gets changed because of Simon in this one. That's the thing that happens, and she becomes the new vampire clan, which was a questionable choice to begin with, so. Jocelyn's still the most annoying character ever written, and she'll continue to be that. There was no progression there, so interesting developments. What else is there to talk about with City of Lost Souls? Oh my god. Oh, the incest. Okay, so I get it. There's a lot of this book where it dates back into, with Lilith and, you know, things, where it tries to date back into the Bible and also the history of their history of gods, and, her brother is obsessed with her, like, sexually. And, I don't know, maybe we should have saw this coming, right? Because, like, the whole first book is all about how, they get the names wrong. It's basically the truth. Where, you know, we're following this romance, and then at the very end, it's like, you guys are brother and sister. And you're like, holy shit, what? And that's what happens. And then, you know, they drop it. I mean, it's littered throughout the other ones. Like, City of Ashes has a lot of back and forth between, like, do we love each other? Is it okay to love each other? And then it's, like, revealed that he's not actually a Fairchild. He was never born from that line. He was stolen from birth to be raised by Valentine. Whatever. You guys know the story. And then we come back to this, where she's with Jonathan, and she's the only clear mind here. And so Jace has a few moments of where, like, their clarity, but he's still being quite controlled. He murders a shadow hunter. I mean, there's some big things that happen here. But we get to the part where he tries to sexually assault her. And I was just like, Cassie, I don't know what you're doing. Why are you doing this? I really hope this is just a plot line. And please do let me know. No, don't let me know. I'll figure it out. I mean, I get, like, if it's a plot line in older fiction, like, it popped up in, like, City, like, Conquering Angels and stuff like that, like, TID. If it popped up in those, I think I would roll it off a little bit more, just because of the time period and how incestuous that time period was. Not so much the 1800s, but, like, before that. Like, it was still, like, wrong, but it wasn't, like, truly down upon. And with this, I'm just like, who in your... And I'm like, maybe it's just in this. Because he tries to, like, it was like a full sexual assault. And, like, they didn't do it because they got interrupted and she, like, took him down or whatever. But it was like an obsession where it carries into City of Heaven and Fire. This was a 4.75. This was a 5-star, but I do want a preference. This is going to be a lot like Clockwork Princess. If you guys missed that review will be obviously linked down below in that playlist. But with this one, I was particularly told that a very big event would be spoiled for me between this novel and the next novel. But here's the thing. I don't know if I agree with this statement. I really need to watch an in-depth review of someone analyzing between TID and TMI, especially the ending. And I get it. There's elements here that I'm not going to spoil TID in case you've never read it before. I highly recommend it. But there are elements to this ending that I would understand. The angels part and that type of thing. Certain characters literally show up, which I'm going to talk about. So, like, I don't know. Maybe it is a spoiler. Maybe you don't want to watch this review. I'm not really sure. I had just got done reading this, and I read from 22% onward today. So, between today and yesterday. So, a lot of it's really fresh in my mind, as one would say. It's a perfect time to review, one would say. With Steady Heaven Fire, the majority of the book takes place in hell, or getting to hell. It starts out with meeting our main character of the next trilogy, which, you know what, I fucking suck, and I can't remember names to save my life because there's so many characters, and I can't wait to be able to look at something and be like, oh my god, it's you, Emma Carstairs. There we go. Emma, who is the main character of the next one, and the Blackthorn children, who we also do follow a little bit, her relationship with them and things. That's where it starts, and it starts with more Jonathan, yep, or Sebastian, whichever one you prefer, starts murdering basically everybody to get to Clary and Jace. They're attacked a little bit in Idris when they go to Idris, but majority of this is the parents are all kidnapped. Jocelyn, Magnus, Luke, oh, not Sebastian, Raphael, are all captured and taken away. Jordan's murdered within the first 20%, which I didn't really care about because I didn't even mention him. He showed up here, you know. Oh my god, yeah, this has to be this one because they go on that date and then they get taken away. Oh, so, you know, I really don't know what happens in City of Fallen Angels. I'm very sorry. I'm getting my books wrong. But with that being said, with City of Lost Souls, City of Heavenly Fire, so Jordan dies. I don't really care for it. Maya was never a character I really latched on to because it was all a part of the whole Clary and, you know, I guess Simon was such a horrible character for such a long time throughout the series that by the time they made him a good character, I was over it. And I was like, I don't know if I can redeem you for breaking Isabel's heart, which I didn't think was breakable, but you broke it, so now we're here. And they're together, and they have a lot of cute moments, and there's a lot of cute moments in between a lot of characters. Alec is a character I really want to discuss real fast to you guys. A lot of people talk about Alec and City of Bones because, in the novel that was not reprinted for the 10th year anniversary, he assaults, Clary, again, lots of those happening in this conversation, in the hallway for calling him gay and things, and he uses, I'm pretty sure a slur, if I'm not mistaken, or it's just the way he goes about it. And then we see Alec slowly turn into this, I don't know, really gay person by the end of the series. But there's certain things, like, there's a joke at the end of the epilogue where, he's supposed to, like, to, Zachariah, who is a character from a different book. I don't know how, I don't know if I can, well, I'll think about it. And he's like, oh my god, look at that hot dude in the Hot Brothers catalog, or calendar. And he's like, there's one of those. And I was like, I don't really know if this is an Alec line. It's a funny line. Like, I get why it's there because it made me giggle. But coming from Alec, I don't really know how... I guess in a way it's true because the exterior is coming off of him. I'm not really sure. Also, Magnus and Malik does end up as a couple at the end, which is not shocking. I was not shocked. Simon's the one who ends up getting his soul, but they end up getting him back. And so that brings me up to point number 2, which almost made the book not get a 5-star, but it does. Okay? It does. Let me complain for a minute. The stories themselves, and I get, it's a huge book series. I mean, we have the TDA, which is next, and then we have the Iron series, which is a prequel, so it doesn't really count. Then we have another one after that, which takes place 4 years or something after the events of TDA, and I get it. You have to keep some of these characters alive because it's such a long-running series, and, like, Magnus pops up and everything, so, like, I'm not assuming Magnus is gonna die or anything. But, like, taking Simon away, but making him immortal, and making him a shadow hunter, there's a part of me that's like, I don't really know if Simon would do that, even, like, especially 6 months ago Simon would do that. Simon's character is a whole clusterfuck, and I don't really know what Classic Garden really knew what to do with him. And I think that's what we got, in my personal opinion. It's like a CW TV show where characters get killed off, but they're brought back 3 episodes later, is how I feel personally about the series. It does not take away my enjoyment of the series, it just does take away some of the stakes, which I heard are once again brought back in TVA. So, yeah. What are things I liked about this? I really liked a lot of the stuff that takes place in Hell or Eden in this case. I liked how it was called Eden. It's a part that I really did enjoy. But I really liked a lot of the elements there. I liked a lot of the elements between Clary and Clary being the one to be able to calm down Jace by putting runes on her, and her only being the one to be able to harness the power of the City of Heavenly Fire. I also really liked that. There's a lot of elements in here that I really, really did enjoy. What else is there? I liked the epilogue. I liked the wedding. I thought it was cute. And yeah, overall, very much enjoyed. I loved seeing Tessa, and I loved seeing Brother Zachariah, and all that stuff I really, really did enjoy. I liked how Jace took the Herondale name. I also very much enjoyed. And so overall, this is a 5 out of 5 stars. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the stories going forward and how I'm doing this, and also fun other things that I might be adding into our collection of Shadowhunters. Because, like, if I'm going to put myself in this world, shouldn't I put myself in this world? So let's get into it. A few things is I have 2 bind-ups I need to read before I can read Lord of Shadows. That's book 2. Lady Midnight, I think it's book 1. And that is, we have The Bane Chronicles, which is sitting right here. And then we have The Tales of the Shadowhunter Academy. Now, technically, The Bane Chronicles came out after book 5. That's right. Book 5, I think it was the in-betweens of, I think it was being written and being produced online during book 5, and then book 3 of TID. So technically this is already supposed to be read, but get over it. And then we have the Tales of Shadowhunter Chronicles, which was directly released after City of Lost Souls, as they are like a character in this is the character of that, basically. I can't tell you anything. I mean, I guess I could. I don't even know anything about it. This follows Magnus Bane over his over his lifetime, from turning into a warlock, if I'm not mistaken, all the way into the newer times, and things like that. Tales of Shadowhunter follows a Shadowhunter growing up in the academy, and then we move over into TTA, and we read 2 books of those, and then we come back and we read the 3rd one, which is the Ghost of Shadow Market, which takes place during Brother Zachariah, but I've heard there's spoilers and stuff. And the reason why I'm reading them in this order is, one, I'm sure there would have been something to come out of this for me to read this, like, with Magnus Bane's father, because he is such a huge prominent character. He's popped up twice now, so, like, I mean, we just didn't know his dad at the time. So I guess there would be something to that. I'm not really sure. So that's something I'm very curious about. I don't even know the stories it follows. So what really happened, one, there is quite a few. Yeah, so I'm curious to see if it's any good or not. It's written by 3 different authors, Cassandra Clare, Tara Reese Spellman, and Maureen Johnson, who I have read a book from. So yeah, so basically going forward, instead of having these vlog-like things where we wrap up 3 books at once, we're turning them into a reading vlog instead, where we read 1 book, spoilery. And I'm gonna give you guys my opinions for these in particular. Will be based on every story, so after every chapter, I will tell you about that chapter if I liked it, and I will give you a somewhat review of. For the actual Lord of Shadows, and Dark Artifice, and Chain of Iron, those will be full on when something like happens. I'll tell you what I thought about in that opinion. And that's going forward for all books, because I do have the 2 spin-offs with Magnus again, which takes place in between book 5, at least, or book 4, when they're off on their honeymoon. Which, is that in book 4? When they're off on their, like, getaway trip to Paris and they're getting text messages the whole time? I don't remember. It's fine. And between Magnus and Alec, at least the first book is. I think the second book is during a different time period, but either way. And that's the Red Scrolls of Magic, if I'm not mistaken. And those will be read as well. I'm just saving them until after Chain of Iron, if that makes sense. So it will be the last things we read before we start the new ones. What else is there? Oh! That brings us to the Shadowhunters television show and the Mortal Instruments movie. So, basically what's going to happen is I'm planning on doing maybe a movie commentary over here, of the Mortal Instruments movie. We're gonna watch it together. It's gonna be a fun time. I'm either doing that, or I'm gonna try to watch it and cut it down and put it out as a video for you guys. Probably over on my movie channel. If I do that, I do want to mention I have a movie channel. It's gonna be linked down below. And then also over on my movie channel, which I'll put in the playlist, by the way. Those things will be in the Mortal Instruments playlist. But I'm going to be reacting to the first and final episode. I think there's 13 episodes of season 1, and then 24 episodes going forward. So every 12 episodes, we would react to one. So it'd be like 12 and 1, 12, 13, and then the last one for the Shadowhunter Chronicles. But I will be reviewing the series as whole over here for you guys, but you guys want to see my initial reactions to them. I've seen the first season. I've also seen parts of the second season before I read them, and so I'm curious to see my reactions to them now after experiencing, but I wanted to wait until I read the entire Shadowhunter trilogy before I jump into those. So those are the fun videos that you guys can be expecting within the next few months or so. I'm not putting any dates on the TV show and movie thing, but it's something to know that's in the pipeline and that will be coming. I'm in the middle of my next audiobook, and then we'll be picking up the Magnus Bane Chronicles. I'm very excited about it. I don't know who narrates them, but I'm curious to see. And it does look like there are some images, which is always really nice. I do love the image parts, and you don't get those unless you look at the book. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, please give me a big fat thumbs up. Don't forget to comment down below, hit the subscribe button, and let me know in the comments down below which one of these is your favorite. I would love to know. Please do let me know. Okay, I'll tell you guys soon.